Guys, welcome back to the video, and in today's video we're actually going to be doing a paid versus free tweaking optimization, and this is actually probably one of my favorite videos because it really shows like a lot like in detail of like how like both of these worked. I've covered both in YouTube videos. The paid one I've only covered one time, and the free one I've covered many times. I've actually covered it in my most recent video, but keep in mind, not a single thing in this video is sponsored, so I am not paid by this paid tweaking thing, and I'm not paid by the free one, so I make absolutely nothing from it. I'm just trying to help you guys out. So if you could like the video for me, that would mean absolutely so much. And also, if you could try out my map, if you look at the top of the screen, it's my map code. You do not have to. You're not being forced to do either of these things. And obviously, only like the video if you enjoy the content I am promoting. But let's get right into this video because I actually think you guys will like this one. And yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to start with my stock FPS. As you can see, we peak around 730 FPS with MSI Afterburner. I did hit around 740, but we're going to say 730 FPS. In order to get the free version, which is the first one we're going to go with, it is in my Discord. I highlighted it right there for you guys. And then you paste it into terminal admin, which right here, you just right click this, terminal admin, and then my screen's all black. Sorry about that. Give it a second. And then basically you paste it right here, click enter, and then this thing will load in the background. You'll see it pop up right behind this. There it is, or in front of it. And then click tweaks, standard, and then just follow me here on everything I do. I'm kind of just like going through reading it all, seeing what it is. I turned off restore point because I already have one made. I made one a few days ago because I knew I was going to record this video. Now, what did like where my stock settings were to have the restore point if I changed anything in the future. And then basically everything I have checked off here, just copy. And then let me make sure. Yeah, so we seem to be good here. And then go ahead, you scroll down, you click run tweaks at the very bottom left here, run tweaks, and then basically in the background here, it's gonna run all the tweaks. Now this sometimes can take a second, depending on everything you do. Now I do just let it load for a little bit. As you can see, I'm just gonna let it load for a little bit, and then it will say basically when it's done, it will say tweaks are finished. Now just to save time, I'm probably gonna cut a little bit of this part because it does take a little bit of time just to run everything. But yeah, you'll see. So after the tweaks are finished, I just cut the boring part because as you'll see when you do it, I mean, some of it is a little bit of a process. And then you launch Fortnite. I do have MSI Afterburner on as well. And that is basically what's going to tell me my FPS. Now, we're also going to go off in-game FPS because I do know MSI Afterburner can be a little off. Like, you'll get two different readings. You'll get like 700 FPS with MSI Afterburner, and then in-game you'll get like 810, right? It's not a crazy difference, but like, we'll see. Since we're on the topic of free, I'd like to talk about an app that you can try absolutely for free. I have the link in the description that you can click on. It'll be right next to the two apps that I'm talking about. It should be above them. And you can actually download this, try for free, and you can boost absolutely any game to get the best ping while you're playing. Not only that, it has a packet loss feature, meaning you'll never get packet loss while playing. So basically, you're 100% lag free while using this. And not only that, you have a bunch of different servers to choose from, like all kinds of stuff like that, like Korea, Europe, South America, North America, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's definitely has a lot of servers to choose from. And I highly recommend this app with everything that's like new into it. If you've tried this app before, I highly recommend trying it again just to, give it another shot because it has definitely proven itself over the past few weeks and gotten 1,000 times better. Anyways, let's get into the video. So we're in my map, and actually we're getting, while recording, keep in mind this is a recording, we're getting not the best FPS, like 560, 600, something around there. I wouldn't really say we're going past 670. Now, while not recording, we actually peaked at 795 FPS with MSI Afterburner. Keep in mind, we peaked before with no tweaks at 730 FPS. This is actually the in-game peak, meaning without MSI Afterburner reading, this is the Fortnite reading. We got 835 FPS is what we peaked at, and in-game before we only got around 730. Still it didn't really change much before. If you want to go back and look, that's fine, but that is the FPS we got there. Now, moving on, I'm going to show you how to actually make a restore point if you don't do one through like the apps, because both apps do have a restore point option. And basically look up create a restore point like I just did. and then you would hit create. I'm actually opening one I already created just to show you that it says before tweaked. That is the one I'm going to run. But on the left there, where it says, like, you can obviously see it says create. You just click create, name it, and it's created. Do that before you do the tweaks, obviously, and that's how you run it. I have had quite a few people ask me how to run it, so I'm gonna run this restore point, and I'll be back as soon as I'm done doing that. Okay, so we're back. I just ran the restore point. My PC is fully reset. Now we're going to be opening up the paid version. Now keep in mind the free version peaks around 795, 835 in-game FPS. So 795 MSI Afterburner, 835 in-game. Now with this utility open, keep in mind that this also has a restore point option, but if you want to make one, obviously do what I'm doing here. Create restore point, and you can create one here. I'm just right here. I'm going to show you that I still have a restore point, which is before tweaked, which is what I would just run after this. But this is just so you guys understand that if you guys do mess something up, it's not my fault. I'm showing you the restore point twice to revert everything back. But anyways, follow me on everything I do. I'm gonna go ahead and start checking some of these off. Everything I check off, you need to check off, but make sure you read some of these. If they're like highlighted red, read what the red thing says, right? I'm just gonna go through and check some of the stuff off. The one that says feature breaking that I went past actually is it's broken right now, obviously, as it says, but they fix stuff every week to every other week. They'll fix it. They're pretty active with their updates on here while adding new settings. Now, this app I am using right here, while checking everything off, does cost $20, right? Also, this glass theme, click no. It does cost $20, but it is a one-time payment. You pay one time, meaning it's not monthly at all. And once you've ran the tweaks, you're done. You don't have to run it every time you load up your PC. You don't need anything running in the background. And it's all been virus checked, which I'll show you at the end that there's absolutely no viruses detected with this app at all, which I'll obviously show you that. But here we are. First tab, everything checked off. As you can see, I have quite literally everything checked off. Now, this setting right here that says Intel CPUs only, I have an i7 13th gen, so I'm going to check that off. It's an Intel CPU. If you have a Ryzen 7 or Ryzen whatever, don't check it off, obviously, because that's not Intel, right? But here's everything again, all checked off if you'd like to copy these settings. Next, we have processor settings. Check all these off as well. Now, this will obviously cause higher temps right there. Don't do that if you don't want to, but I'm going to because it helps with input delay, which is, if you ever see the word latency on any of these, that's pretty much input delay, right? So follow me here, check all these off. I actually checked off the AMD CPU boost. I did not mean to do that. Just do not check that off unless you are not in Intel. So for the people that are not Intel, that is the one you check off. And then here, only check off what the bell is. See, right here, Intel does not have a bell. The thing above it didn't have a bell, but the very top one has the purple bell. So I'm going to check off all the ones with the bell. That's the ones it's recommending you to do. So you check all those off. Now, this does... I'm just going to go ahead and click yes on this because, I don't mind, Now, this does have a cleaning option, which I'll just quickly show you that. It's kind of self-explanatory. It doesn't really do much. It just cleans out what you have checked off, which I don't really need to do because it's kind of pointless. It's irrelevant. You could do that if you would like to. It just pretty much cleans out all those things that were checked off. Now, here's me going through it again for you guys right quick, just so you could, if you missed anything, just check it all off and you're good. Now, remember, it is a one-time thing, meaning once you do it, you don't got to do it again. Now, we're loading up Fortnite while recording with the paid tweaks, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at what my FPS peaks at for MSI Afterburner and what it peaks at for in-game. Now, remember, like before, we peaked with the free one at 795 in-game, and I think it was like 835, or 795 MSI Afterburner, 835 in-game. So while recording, we're looking around 590 FPS, which was around the same. Now, not recording, we actually peaked at 810 FPS. I have it on the screen like I did with the last one, but if you look at the top left, you will see it peak at 810. Just give it a second. It's at the very end of the clip, and 810, right? So it hit 810, but I'm showing you right here. As if you look at the top right, which it's actually the only thing you should be able to see, we actually peaked at 865 FPS, meaning that is like a whole 30 FPS difference in game, which 30 is noticeable, especially like, if you've ever played console and you went from old gen to new gen, that's pretty much like the noticeable difference of it. 30 FPS will be a little bit noticeable. But overall, at the end of the day, the FPS difference, I actually did the math here for the paid version, right? For paid, the stock FPS that we started at, which is where we're going off of, was 730 FPS, meaning with no tweaks at all, we got 730 FPS. But with the paid optimizations, we got around 810 with MSI Afterburner, which gives us a plus 80 FPS difference, meaning we increased our FPS by 80 frames per second. But the in-game FPS capped out at 865, which overall, compared to the 730 FPS original, we got a plus 130 FPS difference with the paid version. Now, with the free version, we got, stock settings were 730 FPS with no tweaks on my computer, but we peaked out at 795 FPS overall with MSI Afterburner. That is a plus 65 FPS difference for the free version, and we peaked at in-game 835 FPS, which gives us a plus 105 FPS difference, which is what we're going to go off of. So the paid version gave us plus 130 FPS. In-game version gave us 105 FPS difference. I just wanted to add this in, basically, to make this a little less confusing, because I know it's a lot to take in at once. If you're playing the game naturally and you're just looking up at your FPS that you have added up at the top right of your screen, your natural in-game FPS, you're going to see, if you use the paid app to optimize your PC, you're going to see a plus 130 FPS difference in your FPS. Meaning, if you're running 600 FPS before you tweak your PC, you'll now be running 730 FPS or close to it, right? Or more, depending on like your PC specs, right? So that is basically what I mean. If you use the free version, you're going to get a plus 105 FPS in game. So like I said, if you're running 600 FPS, you'll now see 705, or around 705 or more, right? So that's basically what I mean by that. This part coming up is basically me comparing app versus app, meaning the FPS difference from one app to the other. That's pretty much all it is. So basically what I'm about to talk about is not really the FPS you'll get in game, but them versus each other. So if you're getting 130 from the paid version and 105, basically I talk about the difference there. So that's what this part coming up is, just so you're not confused. A little heads up there. Anyways, let's compare the two. If we compare the two, we're gonna go off MSI Afterburner. We got 810 for paid, 795 for free. That gives us a 15 FPS increase with the paid version, which I'm gonna be honest, you will not notice a 15 FPS increase, right? That is through MSI Afterburner, right? Through the in-game FPS, which is not 1,000% reliable. We got 865 with the paid version, 835 with the free version, which leaves us at a 30 FPS difference, where the paid version got, plus 30 FPS, meaning that overall the paid version did beat the free version, but that's, quite literally kind of how that works when you're paying for something. I mean, it better beat a free version, right? So if you guys would like to try out the paid version, it is actually $20, one-time payment, don't need to buy it again. Once you pay it once, never again, right? And it's constantly getting updated. And then the free version is free, and that is pretty much the FPS differences you will get between the two. Now, I did say I will show you the virus check for the app that actually gets installed. As you can see right here, there is no viruses. Not a single one was detected. And for the free version, it's actually not an installation. Therefore, it doesn't really have any viruses. It's not really capable of containing a virus because you're not installing anything. It is running live on your PC. Therefore, I didn't really virus scan it because the odds of you getting a virus from that is absolutely pretty much zero. So there you go. You're not going to get a virus from that. Anyways, if you guys did like the video, it would mean a lot if you like the video. It actually supports me so much. And leave a comment. If you made it to the end of the video, this is for you guys over on my Twitch, which is linked to the description. I'm giving away one FNCS pickaxe, right, to a few of you guys, because I know that's about to drop in the item shop, as well as a elite premium, one of the $20 paid version that I covered today. So if you did see this, make sure you head over to the Twitch or comment in the description that you made, or in the comments that you made it this far and you like to be entered, and I'll make sure to pick one person off YouTube and a few people off Twitch. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.